You can take the man out of the machine, but you can never take the machine out of the man. If you're going to sum up Steve Martin in one sentence, that might very well be it. Vocational trucker to the core, this year the Dunedinite celebrates 20 years in business and 45 years in an industry that's wound into his DNA. The latest addition to his boutique fleet is typical Steve Martin, a reflection of its owner's passion and purpose. New 84 T610 Kenworth tractor with 860mm integral Aero Roof Sleeper. Hooked up to this is Steve's 4-axle Convair bulk powder semi-tanker. Steve has been truck mad since he first opened his eyes. Nephew Reese Martin has the diesel chromosome also, and forms a vital role in both day-to-day operations and the presentation of the gear. Steve is however quick to extol the virtues of the lower South Island truck customising scene. A pool of talent, he says, is equal to anywhere, and one he reckons is a largely undiscovered jewel. Dunedin's McCormick motor bodies, Auto Sparkies, Harricks, Downing and Little, elite transport refinishes, as well as Timaru signs and graphics. They set this whole thing up and it's just faultless, he says. They're all craftsmen. Two great family minds and a bunch of artisan craftspeople in action, and the 8x4 tractor was always destined for spectacular. The T610 is a standard spec with a 22 series 18-speed manual Eaton Road Ranger behind the 15-litre Cummins X15, and to the rear of that, Meritor MT21 165 GPs on Kenworth AG460 suspension. Chris Gray is Steve's man at Southpack, and Steve speaks highly of the relationship. He rings you back, it's just that simple. If he doesn't know the answer, he says, "I don't know the answer, Steve, but I'll ring you right back," and he always does, every time. Steve is a huge fan of the Convair product. It's the Rolls Royce of powder tankers, with his exact words. Neither does he take the longevity for granted, speccing oscillating fifth wheels on all his gear to aid with the relieving of torsional stress. Now sit back and enjoy the trip from Christchurch to the Goodman Fielder Bakery in Nelson via State Highway 1, 7, the Lewis Pass, 65 and 6. no chance of seeing the product physically leave the tanker, the unloading process is an electrically earthed symphony of sound, with the conductor's wand the valves under the hoppers, and the musical score the pressure gauges. Once you have it mastered, it's a cinch. Outside it looks low, sleek and snug. Inside, it's a big space. Steve's north of 6 foot and he has no issues at all standing up straight from the driver's seat, under a roofline that arcs up and away to the rear. Chrome bezels adorn the binnacle gauge cluster, and our friends at Pearlcraft have provided the steering wheel and the shifter head. There's a vinyl boot around the shifter also. As often, custom heads look a little weird with a thin lever shaft under them, so 10 out of 10 for that. With the 4 axles and the natural rake both front and rear, there's a natural symmetry to the whole thing. It has a look akin to a bullet train. Steve Martin, a vocational operator whose trucks not only move what needs to be moved, but also visually tell you a lot about the industry passion and standards of their owner. To catch the full story on Steve Martin's new 8x4 T610 Kenworth track unit and matching conveyor tanker, then grab a copy of the May 2024 issue of New Zealand Trucking Magazine, or read a digital copy by clicking the link below. Remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons to be the first to see new content as we upload it for you. Have a great month out there and travel safe.